welcome to Frater versus Retro. And we are back to Action 52. We are doing Critical BP. We messed up Silver Sword yesterday because of an error in video corruption. And, oh boy. Okay, so with Critical BP, see that runway? I can see my bullets shooting as long as I stay on that runway. Soon as I get right off of it, I can't see anything that I'm shooting at. Why would you even do this? I mean, at least try to have the projectile be a very nice bright object where I can actually see what I'm shooting. Oh, this is stupid. Oh, and they just didn't care, folks. They just didn't care. They just didn't care, you know? And that's the thing we're dealing with these folks. You know, they just punch it up on a keyboard. They punch this game up on a keyboard and they just went like, yeah, what's just I but I can't I don't even know if they even like proof checked to even see what this game looked like after they were done. They probably just went, yeah. I'm sure in their head they thought, well, look, I mean, just use your imagination. I mean, with the object, if you hit the fire button, it shot something. Just put some trust into it, and there you go. It's a perfect game. Done. Next game. That's the kind of thing you deal with here with Action 52. Just an absolute critical bypass. Yeah, that's this the thing called a critical bypass surgery, and you might as well that's might as well what you might well get is a bypass surgery. So that was critical BP. Now the Power Glove Congress. Well, it's time for the Power Glove Congress, and ahem, ahem. Oh, Gregory Peck, you've been sitting on the couch here the whole time. I mean, I'm ready to talk about your game you just played because we didn't get one of these last week because we got problems on the show. Problems even I can't answer. So yeah, I gotta admit that you called me on that. You say, well, what did you do? And I would say I'm a boomer. I don't know. I got a ColecoVision. I don't know what to do. You think I know what to do? Okay, so what do you want to talk about? Oh well, the other numbskulls haven't showed up yet. Frater, they're again to be come in later and later here. Well, I see Peter Graves. I see him on his little moped. He's got his little helmet and goggles on. And oh, that nerd. Hold on a second. I can solve this. I'm going to open up this window here. And I'm going to take this little poison dart thing. Oh, poison dart thing, man. No. Oh my goodness! Oh, my moped! Oh my goodness! I knew that would work. That's wonderful stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, the co-host of the Power Glove Congress, Peter Graves, is in a grave accident from his moped. I don't think he's going to be coming in. Now I see. Oh no! I see Guppy Adams. He's 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 driving backwards. No. Stop. We gotta go out there and stop him. He's gonna hit Peter Graves. Peter Graves' moped is all over the place. I know that. No. Okay, I got Peter Graves out of the way. This is a new experience. This is actually quite fun. I have never drove like this this on the road like this before. Oh no, look out! Boom, boom, boom. Oh no, he just ran over Jack Perkins. No, 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 no. Sorry, I mean Peter Graves. He just ran over his moped. Oh dear. Well, oh, drag old poor Peter Graves here. Frater, where do you want him? Well, you better have him sit on the couch. You better lay on the couch. He's not going to be able to participate in the Power Glove Congress, apparently. Well, he's down. He's down for the count. Gregory Peck, I gotta say it, that was kind of on you. A poison dart? I mean, is that what we're going with the show? Like, we're gonna be like spy versus spy, like you two are just gonna like get more violent and just like, well, he's been really sassy, and really mouthy, and I flat told him last show, if you don't shut your mouth, I'm gonna close it for you, and he's like, I don't believe it, I don't believe it, and well, I think he's believing it. R O-T, 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 O-T. Oh, well, I just came in. That was a really wild ride into work. Oh, boy. Well, Prue Guppy, you might as well sit down for the Power Glove Congress, because, we're down a man, so yeah, just sit down. Well, Peter Graves, he looks really rough. I mean, something happened. Gregory Peck blew a poison dart at him and he wrecked his moped. Well, that's the motivation. Hey, thank you. Yeah, sorry, Frater. Okay, just don't do it again. Okay, so like I said, I was playing Action 52 and playing a game called Critical Bypass. Crit Isn't that a surgery, Frater? A bypass surgery? Like, why would they name the game Critical Bypass? Your guess is as good as mine, Gregory Peck. The game is horrible. Basically, what it is it's most of the game is just a white fuzz, and you shoot these pellets that really can't show up well in that environment. So it's sort of like you can't help like to ask like, how am I supposed to get into this? And well, I don't think they intended much of anything. They just intended on your bank, your check declared. That's about it. They couldn't care less if Critical Bypass was in your top 5 or if it was the most hated thing you ever hated. They hate it. They don't care. They got your money. Yeah. So an apology, folks, for last week. Yeah, we just didn't have the footage just got corrupted, and that's the way. That's the way it is. That shit happens. So you were saying also that you apparently it's a flawed version of the game, and also some of the games don't work. Some of the games don't work. Yes. So I'm afraid this whole Action 52 challenge thing is kind of half-assed, and it's just we'll do the best we can to cover this the best we can, but we got more. Oh boy, we got more Assassin's Creed 2. Frater, I don't think that game broadcasts well. Like, it doesn't broadcast well. Like, it plays well if you play by yourself, but it's just a walking simulator. The climbing is kind of fun, but it's like, but watching it and commentating is painful. And even worse, you flat out told me we got a good hour on this one today. Yeah, I think you'll see more story progression, what will help give us some kind of content. But Uh, this is gonna be rough, guys. Okay, so well, we better get to it. Just get it over with. All right, here we go. Oh, here we go. Now, let the walking simulator begin. So, Frater, what's the objective? Well, if you kind of remember the show yesterday, um, we had the stupid kid that had to have us chase down feathers. But I kind of decided, you know what? I don't really like the pressure of having to record and do a mission like that. Really don't think I'm gonna keep going on in this game. This is like the last night we're gonna pretty much do this, which is good. But basically, what is going on is I did that mission off the air, so that's not even included because it was kind of stupid. Like it had nothing to do with the story. It had nothing to do with the story, and you can't progress. You can't progress because why they did those last two missions is because they want you to feel some connection to this family. So that when they kill everybody off, so then you feel like you have a vendetta. That you gotta go to a pigeon coop now. Like, oh boy, oh boy, all three errands. Frater, this has got nothing to do with Assassin's Creed. Like the first game starts you right off the bat. I mean, like you're getting trained as an assassin, and you're getting right into it. It's getting into the whole premise basically. But then with this game, it's like, well, we'll get you into it eventually. This is terrible. Yeah, it's like the climbing and stuff. That's the best part. Like that was my favorite part. But climbing and kind of exploring a little bit, that I like. But it's not coming. It's not coming well through. Through the video at all. Like it's just, I don't know. It's not very enjoyable. So I'm just trying to, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help. You know what it is too? It's a lot of these fetch quests. Instead of just focusing on like, instead of a fetch quest, just focus on like, you know, the Assassin's Creed stuff. And it's just, ugh. So I'm gonna try something different. Okay, I'm open to it. So you said that really there isn't anyone watching. That's exactly right. Uh, like on normal, is there like normally a lot of views and comments? There's sometimes like you get some random views, but like the way we do it is we're pretty much entertaining ourselves. So, Frater, if we're entertaining ourselves, why don't we just like watch some TV in the background, comment on that? I mean, will that actually like show up? I mean, would they be able to hear us or anything like that? Like um, I don't know. I you want us to try? I think we should. Okay. Well, you want me to fire up some wrestling? Yeah. Like what? Like WCW? Yeah, like some. How about WCW from 1993? Oh yeah. Okay, so I don't know if that showed up on there. But, well, I got it muted right now. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't think that the sound will come through. Like right now, it's just recording your microphone, right? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. I just did a sound test, and it won't be able to. Okay, so right now, folks, we're watching Shanghai Pierce. Is it Shanghai Pierce? Yeah, Shanghai Pierce. Yeah, Shanghai Pierce was Henry O'Godwin in the WWF. Yeah, versus Too Cold Scorpio. This is basically what we call a mismatch. These are two guys with two different styles that clash. Because like for example, I saw a match with Too Cold Scorpio and Chris Benoit, which was an absolute 5-star match. And now the next match they have Too Cold Scorpio versus Henry O'Godwin, which is basically not a. That's not exactly what I would like to think. Um, Shows off Too Cold Scorpio's skills, and this is the era of the crowd constantly saying in every match, "Whoop, there it is! Whoop, there it is!" So in 1993, there was a song called Whoop, There It Is. This is the era of the lowest IQ of music ever. And basically, it was in everything. And so, what it is I actually think the reason I didn't like Too Cold Scorpio is because of that reason. It's because there was a constant that song was just thrusted on everything, and you see how talented he is. He's a very talented guy. You know, he, but when I was a kid, just a kid, I'm not an adult. You know, but I didn't like the whoop there it is. I hated that song. So how's the game going? Is it still doing the? It's just the same old, same old. It's just me like doing stupid errands and oh, it's terrible. Just I want to see if we can get caught. I want to see if I get a comment someday like, "Hey, you stop talking about the game." It's like, yeah, because the game sucks. Now, what's the next match, Frater? Gary Capetta. Okay, Gary, what's a? It's Johnny B. Bad. Yeah, Johnny B. Bad. It's funny. Like when I was a kid, I didn't like him, but then after a while, I started to appreciate him. I think like he wasn't. Now, see, that's interesting. He's taking on a jobber that no one will recognize for that time, but he's going to be Mustafa of the gangsters in ECW. He's actually just a jobber here. He doesn't have a gimmick or anything like that. But like I was saying, is Johnny B. Bad, while wasn't the best, he was relatively good. I thought he had a ton of charisma. It was just kind of weird seeing a guy with makeup on, and I felt it was a little bit gay, but now speaking in the time we live in, it's probably not considered that big of a deal, but it was a little bit of a strange gimmick, because he was entirely trained to Frater. You kind of realize we probably don't need to do video games. Like we can, if we really want to, we can just commentate on wrestling. uh, that is definitely something we could do. We can't, but see, we can't show the actual wrestling because of copyright, and someday copyright issues will probably get a lot more stricter. But we could just commentate over it, and if we run into an issue in the future of the show where we got a game that really there isn't much to say, we can just commentate over wrestling. And so really when you think of like good wrestling, like well, good wrestling is when there's a good flow, good timing, good flow. Like, so there he does there's a good flow to things, where like in a tag match, the theme, the central theme and philosophy of the tag team match for the good guys is for wrestler A who's getting beat up on to little by little eventually be able to tag his partner in. When wrestler B comes in of the good guys, when he comes in, it's almost like Superman coming in to save the day. He knocks down the one guy, knocks down the other. That is the core philosophy of the core philosophy of wrestling. That you keep doing that, and eventually, when you go for the end of the tag match, you will. The partner will usually start. He'll do something to distract the other guy, and then you have a clean finish. Or the manager will distract. One of the one of the faces, and then usually the heel will run in and then knock out his partner, and that he gets pinned. So this is the first episode, isn't this, that Shivani and Ventura are commentating Saturday night? Before this was done by Jim Ross. And what happened was when Bill Watts was kicked out of WCW for racism, but also just for generally having bad numbers, really bad numbers as far as pay-per-view ratings. He had actually, numbers-wise, did a lot worse. So after he was gone, they kicked out Jim Ross as well, who was a very good commentator, but he was basically vice president at the time, and so they got rid of Ross because he was kind of connected with Bill Watts. So they got rid of him, and he went to WWF. So then, but they kicked him also off Saturday night. So right here you have Z-Man and Johnny Gunn. And Johnny Gunn actually has kind of a history. He was actually an ECW tag team champion in its early days, like very early days, before anyone knew who they were. Then he went to WWF and became Salvatore Sincere, a heel. But then what's interesting, when Mark Merrow became a heel, they turned him to his real name, Tom Brandy. The reality is wrestlers like Z-Man and Brandy and Johnny Gunn and stuff like that, they can do matches like this. They can really do it. But what I'm going to warn you when you're going through WCW for like 92 and 93, beware if you see Eric Watts in a match, Eric Watts is probably the worst wrestler you ever see for that time because he only had about 2 to 3 months of training and they just started pushing the hell out of him because it's all political. Because he was Bill Watts' son, so they wanted to impress Bill Watts, and they just pushed the hell out of this kid. They gave him like the tag team title, they gave him the television title. They were pushing him way too much. The kid really didn't have much experience, and he had no timing. And like I keep saying about what I said in the last match, I discussed tag team flow, like a flow chart. And the flow chart is that a baby face shouldn't at all be able to a babyface wrestler should not do like submission holds on a heel, with the exception of, say, like for example, what you're seeing with an arm hold. That's fine. That's actually good babyface tactics, good clean tactics. But at some point, what is going to happen is the heel is going to kind of nail him, and then what is going to start happening is a game that is played in these tag matches where the heel will keep dragging the babyface over to his partner. His partner keeps cheating. And what it does is it builds the audience up to keep cheering for the good guy. Like, you can do it. You can tag in your partner. You can do it. You can do it. But what Eric Watts screwed up is he wouldn't do this because he didn't understand it. He was putting like Brian Pillman, for example, in like a Boston Crab, and it's like, what are you doing? And it's because he just generally didn't understand the flow of what a babyface or a heel is supposed to do. You got to get that flow down. So, how's the game? We're 17 minutes in, and we've got no progress. We're just climbing up a building, and probably doing. Wow, I don't even know right now where we're at here. It's gonna be funny when I publish this because then it's gonna be funny because we're just not even paying attention. It is very possible, in the future we can just maybe do shows where we're commentating on wrestling. That would be actually quite fun, actually. So, there was so much talent in WCW, but it's just like that was a really good kick there that Z-Man did. Z-Man wasn't so bad either, but I think the problem was it was just he was very awkward. I guess especially anytime where a wrestler seems very like hungry and desperate for a push, that's where they usually get taken advantage of. It's really good is like that the fact that Eric Watts never made it into a video game. It's actually, yeah, that's a very good thing actually. I mean, um, there was a WCW video game that came out on the Super Nintendo, but I never. Apparently, it came out on Genesis, but I never saw it. I think maybe there was a Funko that might have had like had it listed or something. I I don't know why. I really I don't think I ever heard of it. I don't think it did actually came out. I mean, I could actually look it up. see if it did actually come out on Genesis, but I really didn't. Oh, the referee's distracted. And that's like a whole game in itself too, like to distract the ref. And there's a lot of like I don't know why, like you would think after a while I would just get burned out on certain things about wrestling, and I just like the old formulas, and it's just fun to watch, and that like right now we're beginning sort of there's the A process, the B process, and the C process. A process is when the baby face is rallying, doing great, and then B is what's happening now, which is when the heels have gotten advantage of of the baby face. They're now beating him down. And what they're going to do is keep him from tagging. The, and then there'll be all kinds of like fake outs and stuff like maybe he'll put a hold on and he'll put his feet on the ropes. The referee will check to see why the ropes are shaking, and it's all this sort of game and stuff. It's I don't know. It just doesn't get old to me. I love it. I love tag team wrestling, and I think the closest thing I've come to actually like a decent wrestling game, two decent wrestling games that capture tag team wrestling well is Fire Pro G and Tukan Resuden 3, which is New Japan Pro Wrestling 3. Like, they just have some decent tag team. It's very hard to find good wrestling games. It's not that easy. So yeah, so he just prevented the tag. So see, that's that. So what would be the C, the C section of this of the match? Well, is the finish. Basically, the baby faces are now tagged. They're refreshed. They and so there's going to be only two outcomes. One is that the baby face has hit his finisher, the one heel is down, and either the other heel is either how to say this. The other heel is either being taken care of by the other baby face's partner, or the opposite, where for some reason the other baby face gets knocked out or something, and then the heel gets the win, or the opposite, the baby face gets the win. It's sort of part of the C. So in this case here, the Hollywood Blondes have gotten the win because Pillman was able to get that win. He was able to attack from behind while the other partner was distracted, and that's usually the way the finishes of these kind of things are. So, how is the crappy game going? Well, now you're going up to some tower where you find out where the character's father is being imprisoned. Basically, now the game is actually starting, and I just don't care. So trust me, it's a British bulldog. Yeah, like I said again, the everything's very self-explanatory. Almost you don't need commentary. So I tell you what, we'll talk about it's Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker. And he's got a mullet. And yeah, we're gonna just like commentate about wrestling to describe what we're watching. We're watching WCW Saturday Night from 1990, February 1993. So this show is right after Super Bowl III. And Ric Flair has just come back. British Bulldog has just debuted in WCW. I think the audience is still saying, whoop, there it is. When I used to watch this back then, that's all they would freaking say all the time. It's a bunch of dumbasses in the crowd. I think I think they actually use that as a wrestling theme for I forget for Scorpio or somebody. I don't even think Scorpio's wrestling theme was actually that bad, but so are we gonna do this for other games we're playing? Depends on the game. If it's a game that's out of my element, I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to be talking about wrestling or something because I don't really care. Oh, yeah. So Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker would pretty much end up as a trainer for the WCW power plant. There is actually an exercise I try to do, which is like 1,000 squats, and I can't do it. I can imagine that would be very, very difficult and very painful. Of course, I think that they did like 1,200 squats. The whole idea is to make you like vomit and throw up and like break you, and I don't even know if it entirely it's meant to be done, but it's just something to break you. So how's the game going, Frater? Climbing up a building. Frater, it's just the same thing over and over, isn't it? For hours. For hours? Ah, Frater. It's not something to commentate on. I mean, I'm sure it's absolutely fine, but now we got a cutscene. Frater, another cutscene. Why can't we just have a video game? Like, why all these cutscenes? Jeez. I play Frogger on the ColecoVision. I don't have any of those. So why did Davey Boy Smith go to WCW, Frater? Because he got fired with the Ultimate Warrior for buying like drugs and steroids and human growth hormone and stuff like that, and so then he went to WCW, and let's get down to the nitty gritty. Nobody says that anymore. I don't think I've ever heard that in years, dude. Greg Frater, how's this stupid game going? it's like this is like how we're like wasting time. Oh no, not Alexander Bagwell. I mean, don't get me wrong. Compared to Eric Watts, I mean, compared to Eric Watts, I mean, Bagwell's still not that bad though. His time, I mean, he has timing. He understands how to do this. I mean, but he's just not all that interesting. You know, like when you see Scorpio and you see Benoit and you see like wrestlers like that. That's interesting. But you know what I mean. Yeah, he's very kind of bland. He always was. Well, it's actually a good time to go back to talking about the game because I don't think we really feel like talking about a Marcus Bagwell match. Yeah, Frater, I don't really like Marcus Bagwell. I never did either. But and your favorite little back jump there against that wall there, that happened. Yeah, that actually happened. That's absolutely horrible. You do gotta appreciate though when like controls actually do things that you want them to do. Like in this game, I don't know how many times where I was like trying to do something, and then instead it's like, hey, you see, you want to back jump again? No, 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 stop, stop, stop. And it's like over and over, back jump against the wall, back jump against the wall. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we'll go back to talking about the match because I would rather do that than focus on this stupid game. Yeah, the thing is with Bagwell, it's kind of just the same old, same old. You know, like it's very predictable moves. It's every once in a while you just want to see something where it's like a really good. So he just did the perfect plex. So yeah, he just did the perfect plex, which is Mr. Perfect's move. And he doesn't even do that move like perfect. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, Kurt Hennig when he did that move, he kind of did it in a way that would damage your neck. Like he wouldn't. He would fall. He would basically land on his like upper body, as opposed like way Bagwell just did, where Bagwell kind of just does like a backdrop and then he like holds on to you to do the pin. So that way he doesn't get injured or anything. But it's, I don't know. I mean, the fact that he can't come up with a finishing move that's just unique and, you know, you got to copy what the WWF is doing. And actually, it was Bill Watts who brought back Ric Flair. Yeah, actually, originally Flair came back because of Bill Watts, because he was willing to work with Bill Watts. He didn't want to work with the rest of WCW, but uh, but because of the drastic changes in the company, that was it. Oh no, not Missy Hyatt. Big boobs McGee. Yeah, she's. It's funny. It's Super Brawl 3. Missy Hyatt looked like she was on way too many meds. So in the game, I see now you're got your Assassin's Creed hood and all that. And yeah, finally, after how long you're actually in Assassin's Creed. You're not actually like just doing errands and stuff. Like you're. So yeah, so pretty much what happened was is like with Ric Flair. So basically, what happened with Ric Flair was is like Vince McMahon just couldn't think of anything for him to do after he had his angles and stuff with Brett, and you know, I guess maybe he felt maybe he was too old for what he wanted to do, and he kind of let him have his release, because he said because otherwise he would have to move him down the card to give him something to do. So that was probably more generous and nice, really. Max Payne was, of course, I'm sure that people at home will think I'm talking about the video game, but there was actually a wrestler that we're watching right now that is called Max Payne, and he was actually pretty good wrestler, but he just didn't get the push he deserved in WCW, and then he went to the WWF, and they turned him into Man Mountain Rock. That was stupid. Yeah, I know, and it into like a hippie character with a guitar, and it was just it didn't work, and pretty much people forgot what happened to him. Only criticism I have is like he looks so awesome, when he has that trench coat on, he looks so intimidating, but the problem is when he takes it off, he's just got like these really kind of amateur looking like wrestling tights on. Like it's just that has like nothing at all to really do with his gimmick at all. I know, it's like I like though, how he constantly worked on the arm. Like he did like a Fuji War armbar and stuff. I really, and again, we're not focusing on the game at all. Yeah, the game is pretty self-explanatory. You don't need person. Like I said, we kind of made fun in the last episode. We kind of made fun of it. We were saying like, describing everything we were seeing in in Florence. Basically, in Florence, you would just see the same things over and over and over, and it's just nothing to even say. So I just, that's why I decided with this episode, we're just going to watch wrestling. We're going to watch wrestling and talk about wrestling. And he's got the painkiller on. He's got that Fuji War armbar on, and he tapped out. See, the reality is with a lot of wrestling moves is when you only do it once in a match, it looks more, it has a lot more power and potential. But if you do it too much in a match, it becomes too normal, and the fans get desensitized to the intensity of it. Like a Fuji War armbar is actually pretty intense move. So if you only did it as a finishing move, that's enough. So you're still dancing on the roof? Yeah, still dancing on the roof. Still, yeah. I think we're pretty much done with this game. It's fun to play, but it's not fun to commentate over. It's just the same old, same old. Well, Justin Rhodes is coming out now, Frater, and He looks like he's taking on Wild Bill Irwin. Yeah, I used to watch Bill Irwin and GWF. Dustin, for someone who was kind of still fresh in the business, I think he had good timing, and he wasn't gold dust yet, but he was learning. He was getting better. He wasn't like Eric Watts. But the thing you need to remember is they were pushing him so hard as opposed to just letting him kind of develop on his own and let the just kind of listen to the fans. Do the fans like him? That was the thing that you need to like follow. You know, just because you automatically put him in all the top storylines doesn't mean that he's going to be able to draw an arena. So the thing is that they went, well, he's the son of Dusty Rhodes. And I even thought I heard in that Ric Flair interview when he mentioned Dustin, he didn't say Dustin, he said Dusty. And that's pretty much the good point. The point is they pushed him so hard that he is literally the son of Dusty Rhodes. That he is literally Dusty Rhodes. That no one is utterly perfectly like their father. So he it's hard in context. It's hard because when you watch this footage now, you think of Dustin Rhodes as Gold Dust and all these hilarious great things he did with Booker T and all that. And you need to understand, you need to take yourself back to a time before any of that happened. And he's still green. And all you have is the son of Dusty Rhodes being pushed too hard. And that was another problem about early WCW. So, are we almost done with the Assassin's Creed game? It's just about done. We're at 47 minutes. And we got like a couple minutes here. Tell you what, because we're almost done. I'll just go ahead and we'll just commentate or whatever over the last few minutes here. So what happens is you got the storyline now where your character is his parents have been killed off, and basically now you're trying to get revenge for them. And oh no, not Goober Boy. They killed off Goober Boy too. Yeah, they killed off Goober Boy. Wow, that's pretty hardcore. Well, it's the Middle Ages. They deemed someone, a traitor and stuff. That's it. And I will let you know this level was an absolute fucking nightmare because like I was struggling so bad with the fucking there's the wall jumps, the horrible wall jumps I was struggling with. I was struggling so bad with the horrible wall jumps. Like I kept wall jumping, doing the back wall jumps and constantly back wall jumps, and every time I would start climbing up, and then they would knock me down or something. Like, oh my god, it was so freaking bad. let's see. Then I got lucky because I there was a place to hide on top of the roof, and I did that, and it instantly, no joke, instantly, it basically helped me to win that section. I beat that chapter because I did that, so that helped. Of course, the back wall jumps didn't help me. I was kind of like, what the heck? And it's not comfortable because let's just say there are other games I played. Basically, you would have grappled the wall. You would have had no problem. But these back wall jumps, they were just ruining everything. So, we're just about done here. Yeah. I think next episode I might do Bioshock 2. I tried to do Bioshock 1 and it wouldn't record right, which is really strange. And now you got someone just randomly talking to you. Just expressing their heart. Yeah, and I have it muted, so. Because when I cut this, I know. At least now they finally stopped talking. That's the problem. The game is so kind of disjointed because it has to constantly do cutscenes, and I know and cutscenes. But the thing is weird is like the missions are all sometimes timed. There's timed missions too, and it really takes you out of your element because you're so used to just being able to walk around and do whatever you want. And actually you can't. You really can't. Well, finally the good news is this is ending. Holy cow, this game is bad. But the thing is funny is I could tell you liked it. You liked actually playing it, but you just don't like commentating over it. It's because there's not much to commentate about. It's just like, oh, I'm on the roof or I'm in an alleyway. I'm getting chased. It's the same thing over and over. And or I got a time mission. I don't like time missions. Oh, I did a back jump. Oh, I just lost health. I don't regain health. So now I gotta go find the doctor. I gotta. Oh my god. But it's okay. I'll tell you what, folks. That's all for now. There's only about like a minute or two left. Well, next show we'll have some different things planned.